What's happening, folks? This is Eli with Tutorials, and today I actually wanted to do something different, and that is the top 10 reasons why you should move to Boston. Let's get started. Number 1 is public transportation. We pretty much get world-class transportation with the MBTA, as it is one of the most updated subway and transit systems in the country. You pretty much can get anywhere. You can go to Harvard if you need to. If you need to go to the downtown area, you can get there. But if you also want to go to the neighborhoods like JP, or even as far as Braintree, which is actually not a part of Boston, you can get there by using the T, and that's really awesome. The option is there. So that is number 1. Number 2 is walkability. Pretty much Boston has a walk score of 86.9. Which makes it pretty much one of the most walkable cities out there. It's one of on the top at least. And so if you're looking for a city that you could walk and pretty much get around easily, this is another thing about it. Adding that to the transportation, you have the MBTA to take you around the city. You have a great walkability, and that makes it awesome. Number 3 is shopping. Yes, you have so many different options here in Boston for shopping. You can go to the Copley Mall. You can even go over to Cambridge and actually get the Galleria Mall. But in the Copley Mall, you actually have the Prudential Mall next to it too. So in essence, you have 2 malls in one just in the Copley area. Aside from that, you also have, I believe, a Lord and Taylor, and so many different options. Really, it's really amazing how much stuff has come to Boston. Number 4 is great education system. Yes, Boston has one of the best education systems in the country, and so pretty much you have schools like Northeastern, you have Boston University, Boston College, and you also have community colleges as well if you're under a budget. So you can go to Roxbury Community College, you can go to Bunker Hill Community College. If you're looking for really expensive higher education, you got Harvard University. You can also go to MIT, Lesley. I mean, there's so many different options. And I know I mentioned MIT and Harvard and Lesley. They're actually in Cambridge, but Cambridge is basically next door to Boston, so you have those great options. Number 5 is the job market. Over here in Boston, there are so many different options, and I just put a few of the logos up top: Liberty Mutual, Fidelity Investments, General Electric, and State Street. These are companies that are working over here, but there's so many other than that too as well that are here and have been here for a while. So there's really a lot of options for people. I believe we have the higher paying teacher rate that you have in the country, or at least the second highest, but don't quote me on that. So you have a lot of options when it comes to work and different job offers that you're going to get if you have the right skill for that specific job. Number 6, you have a top-notch healthcare system. In Boston, you have the Harvard program, you also have the Tufts, and then you also have HealthNet, which is one of the major ones that you can get here, but there's also different options for healthcare. When it comes to hospital, you have a lot of options here as well. You have the Beth Israel Hospital, then you have, I believe, the Tufts Medical, which is actually accessible to the T or the MBTA. Then you have the Brigham Women's Hospital. You also have the Children's Hospital, the Boston Medical. I mean, there's so many different little clinics as well that help you out. So there's like local community clinics that they have here too. Number 7 is law and crime. If you're looking for a city that has less crime than the city you're probably in, you probably want to look into Boston, as basically the city is pretty safe. Now, I wouldn't say that there's no crime, because a lot of people say that when you say things like this, that there isn't any crime. No, there is crime, but it's just not as high. You don't really see it as much, and usually the police does its job. As far as the homeless situation, it's a little low compared to places like Portland and California and other places. You're not gonna see that much homelessness around. Number 8, of course, is affordable housing. If you're looking for a place to live and you can't afford it, well, the great thing about Boston is that there is a lot of affordable housing around. All you have to do is apply and put yourself on the wait list, and that's going to help you get into one of these apartments. You'll be able to pay rent depending on how much money you make. You can also go through the Boston Housing Authority, and they will also help you if you need a place to live and you can't afford it. Number 9 is cultural diversity. What I mean by that is you have people from different ethnicities that live in Boston. Although a lot of people look at Boston as a place that doesn't have a lot of diversity, I can tell you that there is a lot of diversity here. It really depends on how you look at it. We have people from different cultures that live here, different languages, different neighborhoods that have different people in here. So there is a good level of diversity. And last but not least is number 10 with stuff to do. Here in Boston, you have entertainments of all sorts. You have baseball games you can go see. If you want to catch a basketball game, you can do that as well. If you're looking for something that's not sports, there's also movies that you can go see. If you like to hit the clubs, there's tons of clubs here in Boston that you can go to. So there's a lot of stuff to do, and there's also a lot of dining options too. A lot of different dining options from different cultures if you want to eat. So if you want to eat Indian food, there's Indian food. If you want Chinese food, there's Chinese food. I mean, the sky's the limit. So that is one of the great things about Boston. Be sure to like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And also leave a comment on this video. Signing off, this is Eli. Take care, folks.